Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to your reading for the week of April 26th. This week, we're going to just jump right in here. We're going to take a look at your current general energies in this first row. In your second row, we're going to look at anything that you're meant to hear at this time. And in your last row, we're going to look at any messages from your guides and from your future self as well here, Pisces. At the end, I will be pulling 3 yes or no question cards. I will also be giving you time to think about your questions, of course. And I will also be answering those 3 cards just kind of as just one answer as well. So if you don't have a question, that is fine, Pisces, but let's see what is going on for you here, Pisces. By the way, I'm using the Tarot of the Mystical Moments, if you're wondering what the name of this deck is here. But Pisces, let's see what is going on for you at this time, Pisces. In your current general energies, you have the Fox Spirit here. This card says, think on your feet. So I do think that it's going to be important for you to think on your feet at this time, of course, Pisces. I'm also getting on this card that's going to be very important for you to kind of blend into situations this week. I'm not saying in this first row, which we're going to cover this whole first row in just a second, of course, but, I'm not saying that you're changing who you are or becoming a different person or anything like that, Pisces, but I do feel that is going to be very important for you, like the way that you present yourself in different situations this week, and it's definitely coming up in kind of like multiple different parts here. It's that's the best way I could say it. I think in different aspects of your life, you're going to need to be embracing a certain energy, and that's the message that I'm getting off this Fox card, is that it's going to be very important for you to embrace a certain energy in different situations. Pisces is the chameleon, right? We can blend into any situation, and that's really what I see going on here for you this week, is that it's going to be very necessary for you to kind of blend into situations. There are a couple things here that show up that we're going to cover in this reading, and I can't possibly cover them all right now, but as we go through the reading, we're going to kind of uncover what situations, what parts of your life, what different aspects you're going to have to blend into with this Fox energy. So definitely something to think about here, Pisces. You have the Empress, the Ace of Cups, and the King of Swords here in your first row, which is, again, this is your current general energies here, Pisces. So you're coming up in a very strong position. I don't know what last week was about, but, and I'm referring to the week of the 19th. You might actually be watching this video in the week of the 19th. I felt weird. I feel weird even before the week of the 19th. It seemed to be a collective energy. I would call this like a breath of fresh air, Pisces, this whole entire reading. So again, you have the Empress, the Ace of Cups, and the King of Swords. I feel like you're feeling very attractive at this time with the Empress energy here. I feel you could be attracting a lot of attention as well. And I do feel that some of you are kind of feeling pregnant. For some of you, that could be literal, Pisces. So if you're not trying to get pregnant, I would be very careful here with this energy. If you are, go for it, right? But I feel you are pregnant with ideas. You are pregnant with something that is kind of feeling like it's ready to burst out of you. And that's the energy that I get here, Pisces, with the Empress. This is going to be something that you love with the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is like a gift from the universe. And I always say that the Ace of Cups is your emotions overflowing. What's really interesting is that on this deck here, the Ace of Cups, there's a bunch of butterflies that are flying out of this cup that's on this card. And you have this Healing Chaos card. There are a bunch of butterflies kind of flowing out of this tornado on the Healing Chaos card, which we're going to talk about next year, Pisces. But for whatever reason, I do feel you're going through a major transformation. I also do feel that this is more talking about kind of like your ideas. I feel like there are a lot of ideas kind of flowing through you. I also feel there's a lot of abundance kind of flowing through you here as well. So you're creating a lot of abundance. On top of all that, I feel that it's going to be very important for you kind of like where you put your heart. I always say the Ace of Cups kind of can represent your heart or something that you're putting your heart into, like a project or a business or something along those lines. And you have the King of Swords. I do feel this as love for a lot of you. Could definitely be someone who is older than you here with this energy. If you're looking for love, I feel you're getting a lot of intuitive messages about a person that you're interested in. I do feel that some of you are already interested in a person, and what I like the message that I'm getting for you, Pisces, is that if you are getting messages, if you are having dreams, daydreams about this person, and they are kind of more spiritually based, then I do feel that if you're like questioning whether or not someone is right for you, if you're having dreams, I literally feel like it's saying that person is right for you. But for the most part, I feel like this is more kind of talking about you blending into situations. And I feel this King of Swords is kind of like saying you are a master at something. The King of Swords is a card of mastery, and it's a card of being really good at something. So it's like you're learning. Like I feel like you are the master of a skill, and this is something that you're blending into. But I really feel like this is kind of like you birthing one of your ideas, Pisces. So let's dig into this and clarify. You have the Ace of Swords here. Ace of Swords is a victory, a success coming in for you. You have the World here as well, something you need to share with the world. And you have the Sun. Damn, Pisces. This is a much better reading than you've been getting in a while. So I feel that a lot of you, there could be kind of like a lifting of the energy. You're going to be feeling a lot better once we get into this week, I feel. There are some major improvements there. For some of you, I feel this is like a truth about a person. And again, you're discovering the truth, but for the most part, I feel that this is about an idea, something that you're trying to birth, like some sort of project that you're working on, something new that you're working on. I feel like my microphone, sorry about the microphone, I feel like it keeps getting lower and lower and lower, probably because I don't have it tight enough up there, Pisces. We're just going to leave it, but I feel like it keeps dropping down. But anyway, again, I feel like there's a lot of happiness coming in here. This is a very solid row and definitely a lot of abundance as well. So it kind of looks like a good week for you here. Again, if you are interested in a person here in love, this looks like a victory, especially if it's someone who's like older than you. I would say this is someone who is very established is what's coming up in this row right here if you are looking for love. Again, if you're not looking for love, this is the some idea that you have, something that you're trying to manifest or create in your life, and it's like you are kind of putting things into practice. It's like you are creating your own reality here, but for a lot of you, it's like you're creating like a project or something that you're going to become known for, or something like that here, Pisces. So I really I like that a lot. Hold on one second, I don't want this to drop. Sorry about that, Pisces. Hopefully that holds it still. But anyway, what I was saying here is that there's like some sort of idea. We even see that here. This next row is kind of what you need to hear. This row here is meant to be more of like a row of advice or anything that's important or something that you need to hear. Could be an uncomfortable truth or something along those lines. For you, I do feel that you are dealing with a lot of chaos. Again, you have all these butterflies on this Ace of Cups here, and then on this Healing Chaos card, if it wants to focus, there are a bunch of butterflies kind of floating away from this. There are a bunch of butterflies floating out of this kind of tornado here that's on this card. So for a lot of you, I do feel like maybe you feel all over the place, or you feel like things have been very chaotic. I did a reading recently where I was talking about like needing to be okay with chaos, needing to not really needing to make sure that you're not really pushing against chaos necessarily, needing to make sure that you're not pushing against resistance. I'm getting more of like a go with the flow vibe here. And that's what I feel for you. I feel going with the flow, so to speak, Pisces, is actually going to be very beneficial for you with this card. It's kind of like, it's not like you're surrendering. I feel like you're just embracing the energy. Sometimes I think we try to push against certain changes that are happening in the world or in any area of our lives, and that actually prevents us from moving forward, because it's like we're fighting against something. It's not that you're accepting. It's not that you're quitting. It's not that you're, just kind of allowing bad things to happen in your life. I feel like you're more willing, it's like you're more flowing with the energy, you're more working with the energy here, and that's kind of like why, this card says Healing Chaos, so that's exactly why things are probably healing for you here, Pisces. You have the Knight of Wands. the King of, or I'm sorry, you have the King of Wands, the King of Pentacles, and the Magician. So this is definitely a new beginning coming in for you here. I didn't even realize that you have 3 of the 4 kings. I'm pretty sure this happened to you like 2 weeks ago, or last week. I can't remember when it was. I kind of get 2 things here. For some of you, I feel like it's you. It's like you are about to step into that Emperor energy. The Emperor energy that I always feel for you, Pisces, is it's like I feel like the Emperor energy you're stepping into is just knowing. Knowing what you're supposed to be doing with your life, which I feel has been maybe a little bit of a challenge for you. The Emperor is a man with a plan. And again, we don't have to attach gender to this, so you can just be a person with a plan, Pisces. And that's the energy that you're getting to, where it's like there's not so much chaos, where it's like it's not where I think Pisces is too used to starting something, whether it be a relationship, a business, doesn't matter. Things look good, then it doesn't work out, right? Starting something else, things look good, then it kind of fails, then it doesn't work out. I think Pisces has gotten into this energy mostly because of the astrology that we've been dealing with for a long time, where the energy is kind of like that's the type of chaos that has been created in your life, I feel here, Pisces. And it's like now you're getting away from that. I think you had to go through that chaos because it's like you had to learn the King of Swords. You had to learn discernment. You had to learn, how to learn. You had to learn how to master a skill here with the King of Swords. So you probably dealt with like a lot of tricks, a lot of challenges, a lot of tricky people, a lot of tricky situations. You had to learn creativity with the King of Wands. You had to learn how to be bold, how to stand up for yourself, how to speak your mind, how to be assertive. But also you had to learn how to build over the past 8 years, maybe 10 years. With the King of Pentacles, I mean, there's no doubt about it. With the King of Pentacles, Uranus was in your 2nd house for a very long time, Pisces. And again, thank God that will never happen again. To me, Uranus and Aries in the 2nd house especially is probably the worst place that Uranus could potentially be for you, anybody. Again, and for most of you, it was in your 2nd house. And that's not true for all of you, Pisces. But this leads to very chaotic finances. It leads to those moments where maybe you're working on a project, you make money, and then you make a bunch of money, and then the example I always used to give to Pisces was that with Uranus in Aries, it's like you could make a bunch of money and be very successful, but then your car breaks down, right? And your car costs exactly the amount of money that you make. That's like Uranus and Taurus stuff. So you probably had a lot of those experiences. But the King of Pentacles is saying now you have learned how to be financially secure. The Magician is like saying here, and this is what I feel like you need to hear. This row, again, is what you need to hear right now. What I feel like you need to hear is that you have the tools, Pisces, is that I hesitate to say what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's like you no longer have to be scared, Pisces. I feel like it's time to let go of those fears. I feel like you need to empower yourself, embrace yourself. Again, you're stepping into an energy with that fox spirit. Remember what I was saying? How Pisces is the chameleon, right? And this doesn't mean that you're two-faced, doesn't mean you wear a mask. It just means that you blend well with energies. And this Magician, I feel, is saying doors, the words that I'm getting are doors are about to open, because of the skills that you have developed. So it's like you have learned a lot. You have developed a lot of skills with this energy here, Pisces, and that's what you need to realize. There's going to be a major new beginning for you here, Pisces. But let's dig into this row here. And let's see, 6 Wands, major success, a lot of attention coming in for you here, Pisces. You've earned it. You've earned this attention that you're going to be getting for a lot, and this is going to be in any area of your life. You're going to have to step into this energy. Again, I feel like maybe the problem for Pisces is, and I've talked about this before, is it's like, imagine just like you have like one puzzle piece on the table, right? But it's like these 3 kings, I feel like, are like 3 puzzle pieces that are in other areas of your life. It's like these 3 things need to come together here. And so the missing piece of the puzzle is just you. It's like the reason I feel here that the King of Cups hasn't shown up in this reading is because it's literally saying the missing piece of the puzzle is you. You are the missing piece of the puzzle. You are the thing that is not here just yet. So you just need to kind of like embrace this energy, realize how far you've come. Yeah, Strength card. Yeah, you're going to be recognized for a lot. I'm not saying that things are going to get easier for you either, Pisces. With the Strength card, I feel like it's your job to be an example. Pisces, I mean, people I don't know. It doesn't matter. Pisces, the point is that there's a ton of energy entering into your first house next year. What's the point of this energy entering into your first house? It's like literally your job is to be an example for other people, especially based off of everything that you've gone through for such a long time, for so many years. It's like you've gone through these difficulties and challenges for years, Pisces. And, this is all adding up to what I believe is it is your job to show other people what is possible in life. It is your job to show people, how they can be successful, how they can pull out of difficulties and challenges, how they can do that. You could be being this example for just people in your life. You could be doing it on YouTube, pretty much anything. It doesn't matter. But people always ask me, like, what is my spiritual path? What is my journey? Pisces, your journey, your spiritual path here is to show other people what is possible, and to show other people that they can pull themselves out of difficult situations. So that's kind of like what you need to hear at this time. There you go. Nine of Wands. Yep. Never give up. It's like that never give up Pisces attitude, right? So I feel for a lot of you, that's like what you're showing people. And I love that, Pisces. I think that is very good. And that is like the only reason you're here. So there you go. Next, in your final row here for any advice from your future self and from your guides, you have the To the Sea card. Here's the thing. Here's a crazy idea as well, Pisces. I'm actually getting this message, I feel, from your Pisces guides, right? I feel that what your guides are saying is if you are resisting something, if something no longer fits, I feel like it's just no longer for you. And maybe that's what you need to realize. It's like, the story that is popping into my head is, I'm sure you have all heard stories of someone who has maybe gotten their dream job, right? They get a dream job somewhere and they do really well. Maybe they work there for several years, and then maybe their boss starts to act differently towards them. Their boss starts to turn them away. It reminds me of the movie, like, have you ever seen one of those movies with like a dog where it's like a kid is trying to get a dog to run away and is like throwing rocks at the dog and like saying, get out of here, get lost, right? I get that energy for you, Pisces. I'm not saying anybody's throwing rocks at you, but what I am saying is that I feel in your life, there are just certain places, there are certain areas of your life where it's like the people are seemingly difficult, or maybe the people seem to be pushing you away. And why is this? It's because you no longer belong there, Pisces. Your energy, I feel like you are growing, you are expanding. And that's what you need to realize in this last row. You have the Six of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Four of Swords here. The Six of Cups is like a gift from the universe, so you are moving towards, bigger and better things. The Knight of Pentacles is just you kind of going off on the journey here, Pisces. I feel like you are going off on this. It's like you're on this journey, you're on this path, you're moving towards bigger and better things in your life. But I feel like you need to kind of like start putting in the work here, and that's what your guides are saying. The Six of Cups is kind of like obstacles being removed from your life. So if there are things that you have desired to do or things that you have wanted to do for a very long period of time, this card kind of says like the obstacles are being able to accomplish the things you want to accomplish are being removed here with that energy. And you have the Four of Swords here as well. This card is just like a card of recovery. So I feel like you are recovering. There's a moon on this Four of Swords, and they're also feathers. The swords in this deck are feathers. And I feel, number one, it is popping into my head that some of you could be seeing feathers. So it's like if you're doing the right thing, I feel like your guides and even your future self is saying, pay attention to the symbols. I do feel like this is saying it's really important that you take a rest as well, or you take rest when you need it. So, if you're feeling tired at times, or if you feel like you just need a break, Pisces, you're like on a rocket ship in 2022. So it's like this year, if you need a break, if there are times where you need to take care of yourself, if there are times where you just need a break from life or whatever, I feel this is saying like take those breaks. I also feel like this is saying it's gonna be very important for you to dream. This whole row here, I feel is your guides like saying, even this girl here, it's like she's seeing these little tiny people in front of her here, Pisces. It's almost like she's dreaming here on this card. And I feel your guides want you to be okay with entering into that dream world. I feel like your guides want you to be okay with kind of having those Pisces moments where you just daydream for 6 hours and then you're like, where the hell did my day go? Trust me, Pisces, I've been there, right? Been there all the time. I always tell the story. One time I was sitting in my class in school, and the teacher was kind of making us fill out this paper, right? And it was like a 2-hour class that I was sitting in, and I remember the beginning of the class. I was looking out the window, and then all I remember is the end of the class, right? I had been staring out the window the entire time. I looked down on my paper. Everybody else was finished. I hadn't put one mark on my piece of paper. Daydreamed through the entire class, right? That's what's going on here. But I feel like this is like saying there's a real world, there's a Pisces world. It's okay to be in that Pisces world for a little bit of time here, Pisces, is what I feel like saying to you. So let's dig into this here and see more what your guides want you to do. You have the Page of Pentacles. Good news coming in here. I feel like there are a lot of things that are just working out for you here. I also feel like there's like a lot of clues coming in is what your guides are saying. Maybe I just intuitively feel you've been feeling a little bit lost. 2 6s. I love 2 6s because, 2 6s really suggests you're on the right path, you're going the right direction, Pisces. But I also feel like this is your guide just saying like, you're, I wouldn't really necessarily call this rewards that your guides are providing you with, but I feel that your guides are giving you kind of some clues, and that's the gifts that you're receiving with the 6 of Cups. You have the Lovers, definitely new love probably coming in for you here, Pisces. Your readings have been new love for the past few weeks. Your readings have also specifically been about an earth sign coming in for you. So if you're looking for love, it would not surprise me at all if there was an earth sign coming in for you. It wouldn't surprise me. Really, it wouldn't surprise me if you had an Aquarius, Scorpio, a Taurus, or a Leo coming in for you. I get like a little bit of fixed energy here. I would say that if you have a fixed sign coming in for you, Pisces, I feel this person is flexible, but, definitely fixed energy for sure. But maybe you need this, I would say if you have a person coming in for you as love at this time, this person I feel is going to kind of put you on a path, and it doesn't matter if you stay with this person or not, because I feel like this person, any love that's coming in at this time, again, whether you stay with them or not, it's like they're putting you on a path. I would not call this a love reading, period, Pisces. I would call this a you reading. This is all about you, this whole entire reading, and it's all about you kind of picking a new path. Well, not really. I feel like you're on the right path, is what this is saying. You're at a little bit of a crossroads, but it's like everything is going to add up in the future is what I feel like saying here. Yeah, 2 of Cups. Of course, whenever I say that it's not a love reading, you get a bunch of love cards. Like I said, if there's love coming in, it's new love. 2 of Cups is just you and your higher self. This row here is any messages from your guides. And so, again, for some of you, this could be kind of like a guide, or your higher self is guiding you at this time. So love it. Thank you for being here, Pisces. Really appreciate it. Make sure to drop a like on this video, by the way. Really appreciate the likes and the support. We're going to do 3 yes or no question cards now, Pisces. We're going to do 1, we're going to do 2, and 3 right here. If you don't have a question, then I will be putting these all together, and I'm just going to answer them all together. But for question number 1, you have the 7 of Cups here. I would say yes, and even intuitively, I was kind of looking at this as a star. There's like a bunch of stars here, and again, this whole entire reading has been about what you're dreaming of. She is pointing to 1 star right here, Pisces. So it's going to be really important for you to kind of like focus on one thing here. The funny thing is that I think what you're realizing, Pisces, is that it doesn't really matter what like paths you choose in your life. It's all going towards the same place. Next, you have the 9 of Wands here. I do feel like saying no on this 9 of Wands, so I would say no to question number 3 and or question number 2. For question number 3, you have the King. I think this is supposed to be the Queen of Wands here. Looks like a misprint, Pisces, in this deck. It says King of Wands, but I'm pretty sure this is because here's the King of Wands right here. This one says the King of Wands, but I feel like it's supposed to be the Queen of Wands. So for a lot of you, I would say yes on this question as well. Putting it all together, there is something that you can't give up on, Pisces. So just all 3 cards together, there is something that your heart belongs to, and your entire reading is saying that with the Ace of Cups. Could be a person. For a lot of you, it's something that fills you with energy. It's something that kind of makes you feel inspired. It's that thing that makes you get out of bed in the morning. And this right here is saying you need to push towards that more at this time, Pisces. I feel like it's saying the more committed you are to one thing, the more likely you will be to be successful with this energy. So Pisces, I love this reading. Really good reading for you here. Definitely very empowering. So thank you for watching, and definitely enjoy your week. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you. Also, Also, feel free to like and subscribe. Really appreciate the support. But thank you, Pisces, and definitely enjoy your week.